Yo, this is Gyromancer here, and welcome back to another video game's first impression video. Today we are taking a look at the Homeworld Remastered Collection by Gearbox, which is a throwback to the old Homeworld games. Homeworld is a real-time strategy game set in space, so it's a bit different from other RTSs because it is set in 3D space rather than 2D space. The Homeworld Remastered Collection includes Homeworld 1 and 2, both of the old Homeworld games, and Homeworld Multiplayer, which is currently still in beta and requires a Gearbox Shift account. Homeworld 1 and 2 Remastered are basically the same as the old Homeworld games, with the same storyline, cutscenes, and mechanics, but with better graphics and audio quality. The basics of both games are pretty standard when it comes to RTSs. You start out with a mothership, and you produce and research new units in order to create a massive fleet of spaceships in order to crush the enemy and save your allies. As a Supreme Commander 2 player, the campaigns are quite a bit different than the Supreme Commander 2 campaign in that every time you enter a new level, you just hyperspace in with all your units from the previous level. This is different from Supreme Commander, in which each level you basically start over and build an entirely new base. Because of this, decisions and outcomes of previous battles can affect your performance later in the game, because if you lost a shipment of crew members in the previous battle, you aren't ever going to get them back. It's safe to say that older games were a lot harder than the majority of newer games. The games run pretty smoothly, and I haven't run into many issues except for a small zoom bug and a bug in which my salvage corvettes wouldn't capture an enemy frigate. This is actually a slightly major bug, as in order to progress to the next level, you have to capture the enemy frigate. Gearbox, however, is hopefully aware of it from forum reports and will hopefully fix it soon. Another small complaint I have is that both games have the same tutorial, even though the research and building is slightly different between Homeworld 1 and 2. The tutorial is more like Homeworld 2's style of building, whole squads of ships at once rather than building individual ships. Homeworld 2's research mechanics are also more like Supreme Commander in that you can level up your ships and add on new buildings, rather than just researching new ships like in Homeworld 1's research system. Now on to Homeworld Multiplayer. Multiplayer is still in beta and requires a Shift account from Gearbox in order to play, as I mentioned earlier. Setting up a Shift account only takes a few minutes, though currently the link to the Shift account page is not working, so you have to manually type in the address yourself. Beta bugs aside, so far I enjoy it more than the campaign. This is partly because it is more similar to the way Supreme Commander functions in that each match is completely separate from previous matches. It is easy to get caught up in the heat of these battles and not ever sit back and look at the beauty of the game as masses of spaceships battle it out in space. The clash between Homeworld 1 and 2 mechanics that I mentioned earlier is also present in multiplayer, as the different factions manufacture, research, and function differently than one another. Assigning these different mechanics to different factions, however, I view as a good thing, whereas in Homeworld 1 and 2, the mechanic clash is a bit annoying when it comes to the tutorial. In order to jump into a game, you can either play LAN or online play through Steam. Personally, I'd like it if we weren't required to have a Shift account in order to play online, since we're playing through Steam anyways. Other than this small gimmick, the game runs pretty much as smoothly as Homeworld 1 and 2. In fact, I haven't run into any apparent bugs at all yet, unlike the campaigns. Since multiplayer is still in beta, faction balancing is still in progress, so if you have any complaints, just let Gearbox know. Overall, I'm impressed with the Homeworld Remastered Collection, and I'm happy to have another RTS to play after my great experience with Supreme Commander. Even if you played the old Homeworld games, the Remastered Collection is worth it just because of the better graphics and the multiplayer, which is where I'll probably be spending most of my time. If you would like to purchase the game, it is currently $35 on Steam at the time of making this video. If you do buy the game, you might run into me on multiplayer, so say hi if you do. That pretty much wraps it up for this look at the Homeworld Remastered Collection. If you'd like to see more of these videos, take a look at the last First Impressions video in which we look at Renegade X. If you would like to see me do a review on a specific game, put it in the comment section below. If you want to watch me play games in preparation for the next Game Impressions video, go follow the Tech Report Twitch channel. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you all later.